Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I am working on actually a project I wanted to get done last year for Christmas and I never got it done. So I figured we're going to work on it this year. Had this in my head last year, but you know, I didn't find what I needed and I don't know, it just got too late in the season. I didn't worry about it. Anyway, what you're going to need for this is 2 of these wreaths here. We're going to make this cute snowman wreath. This is the wood blend wreaths that they have at Dollar Tree. This is the 9-inch, and this one is the 12-inch. These are $1.25. You're going to need one of each of those. You're going to need some zip ties here because we're going to zip tie this baby together, and hopefully we're going to make this. Oh, my birds are all starting to yell now, of course. Hopefully we're going to make this a quick and easy project here. Just trying to see which. Trying to break that off there because it's really sticking up. There we go. Let me just snap that. There we go. Trying to see which way is the going to be the roundest here to look the nicest because none of these are very even. That looks pretty good right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple zip ties. You can get these in the hardware section at Dollar Tree. And we're going to zip tie this together real quick. And then we're going to use these microfiber duster mop pads, they're called, from Dollar Tree. They have these down where they have the mops and brooms and things. Now if I could just talk. I have 7 of them here. I don't think I'm going to need 7 at all, but I figured I'm going to get out some extras here just in case. So we'll figure out exactly how many we're going to need for that. And I think this will be better off maybe if I stuck this through some of this wreath here, if that's possible. Of course, I picked a spot where I can't. Well, let's just try zip tying this one right here like this. Because once we glue on the microfiber things, everything's going to stay in place anywho, and I kind of want that in the back. So we're going to make this the back since it's not as pretty. And hopefully you guys have more oomph than I do, because I don't have any oomph anymore. But I'm going to do this twice here, just to be on the safe side, because I don't want this baby to come apart after all our hard work. So I'm telling you guys, these are so easy to do. I made something similar to this, as you know, as far as like just a wreath, but not a snowman. So. All right, so this will be our back here where we have all that. Maybe I can move these up a little in the center. There we go. So we're going to take our first microfiber cloth and we're going to put it underneath here with the back side facing you. And I have something stuck in it already. And this one's going to get hooked on like this to cover up where we connected it here. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here to this thing, because it's going to glue onto itself here, so it's going to stick on here pretty well. And then you're going to take the other part, and we're just going to put a bunch of hot glue on here. This is just going to be so easy. All right, so that is the center of our, what is stuck in this thing? You know, I get it in the bags of all kinds of my picks and things that I buy at Dollar Tree. It's got glitter in it. It's got all kinds of things in it. All right. So that is that piece, all done. So now we're going to take these longwise now and place them underneath here, and then we're just going to work these around and glue it pretty much just onto itself. Real simple, and if you have glue in your glue gun. Real simple, you got to have the glue. All right, so we're going to start right here, just go a little at a time, and then just glue these onto itself. Should stick real nice. Just make sure you got that up nice and tight there towards your neck. And then you're just going to work your way down here. We're going to tuck this over, add some more glue, and then just glue them down. Just try to get them nice and tight. That's why you only want to do a little at a time. And make sure your seam ends up in the back. And then that will be the front here. Now this will all make much more sense once we get them on. So I'm just going to do a couple of these here, and then I'll finish these up off camera because it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again. And you guys don't need to watch that. You'll get the gist. All right, so let's get that back here. And then this last piece. And just gluing them down. All right. And then we're just going to do the same thing up here. So I'm thinking, let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to hook this together a little bit here. With this piece I put around the neck just to keep this from, you know, sliding down at all. Might have to do that on the front too. I'm not sure, but it seems to be, yeah, I'm actually just going to do that just so I make sure this isn't going to move. We're going to glue this right onto our first piece there, and there we go. All right, and then let's see if we can guesstimate how many of these we're going to use. So we're going to put another one here. You want to get them real close together. All right, so I'm saying we're going to need 3 down here. We're probably going to have to cut this because it's going to be too much. And then how many are we going to get away with up here? Are we going to get away with 2? Absolutely. Yes, we are. Perfect. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to need 6. So I was over by 1. So you're going to need 6 of your microfiber pads. So now we're going to do the same thing, just over and over and over again until we got this all together. So I'll just do one up here on the top. Do I have, now I can't tell which is the front and the back. Oh no, I can't even tell where I glued it together. Look at that. All right, well that's nice and smooth there, so this is definitely the back. Okay, well, it's going to look pretty good from the front or the back. All right, so let's do one up here on the thing. You can cut these tags out too if you want to, just so you don't have to be bothered with them. All right, so we're going to start that one here, nice and tight with the first one, and then we're just going to start gluing this baby together. Just pull it so your seams are all in the back. All right, let's get this one started. Yeah, see how that fits up nice and tight there? I don't even think it's necessary. This one's going to have a scarf on it and stuff too, so then the neck and stuff will make a little bit more sense. It looks kind of bulky right now, but it won't when we're finished. So just, there you go. So we're going to glue this here, and that's it. We're just going to keep going around and gluing these babies on, tucking them up close to each other. And like I said, over here, may have to just cut like a piece of it off, and this is all sewn, and once you get it glued it'll stay together just fine for you. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to finish this one here, and then I'm going to finish gluing these on off camera here, because I don't think you guys want to watch me do this for the next 10 minutes just gluing the same things over and over again. But there we go. So that is the beginning of our snowman wreath. And this guy's going to be so cute. And then when I come back, I'll show you guys what we're going to put on here. Some of these stick out a lot farther than the others, so you might want to trim them off a little bit. But I think he's going to look really sweet. All right, so let me get that done, and then I will be right back. Okay, got this all together. I don't even think it took me 10 minutes, not even that long at all. Now for this bottom piece, I had to cut off a piece. It was about yay big. You'll know when you get there. You just, my dogs are all barking again. I don't know what's going on out there, but my husband's out there with them. But yeah, just when you get around to the top here, there was like a lot that was going to overhang. Now the top one, I overlapped it because we're going to be putting a hat on here, so I didn't cut the top one. You can if you want to, but it's really not necessary. So for the scarf, we're going to be using this little Jingle Belly scarf that I picked up at Dollar Tree. In the Christmas section. This thing is way too big. We're going to cut this off, probably tie it in the back, but figure out how long we want this to hang down. And then we got this little Santa hat too from the Dollar Tree. Can't beat the Dollar Tree. And we're going to use this for the little hat. Now you could stuff this if you wanted to make it a little more full, stuff it with something. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't think I am. We'll see how it looks. All right, let's figure out the scarf here first, since we got them laying right here. This stuff's shedding all over the place. Well, not shedding, but where I cut it, it just went everywhere. I gotta shut this thing off. My Ring doorbell thing keeps going off because my husband's outside doing stuff. So let's shut that off. Otherwise we're gonna ding every couple minutes. All right, so let's put this around his neck here and figure, ugh, I got this stuff everywhere. It'll stop, I promise. I'll stop shedding. Let me get this tag out of here though. That's not gonna look very pretty. But I wanna leave the jingle bells. I got this stuff everywhere. You would think just cutting that one little piece off of that mop would not make such a mess, but it did. All right, so this is gonna go around the neck here. It's gonna get over here. I don't want it quite that long, I don't think. I might just take that up just a little bit here, because I don't want it to hang, you know, past this bottom part. So let's see what we can do. Man alive, I got that stuff everywhere. I'll clean that off after. You guys don't want to see me do that every 2 seconds either, I'm sure. All right, so I think, I don't know. Let's see. I don't want them even either, so I'm gonna have to take this up quite a bit here in the back. Well, we're just gonna cut this in half back here. Man, this stuff is everywhere. I'll tell you, my scissors, I've got to get myself another pair of scissors out because these have about had it. So I'll probably just glue this back here in the back. And let's see. All right, I think that'll be good right there. So just figure out how long you want it, then cut it off back here, and we're just gonna glue this down. We're not doing anything fancy. Although nobody will ever know that we didn't do anything fancy. All right, so we're just gonna glue this piece down here. And then we're gonna take this one and kind of fold this one on the inside so our seam looks a little bit nicer. We'll just put a little glue in there. There we go, just so we don't have like a raw seam sticking out here. And I got glue on my finger. There we go. That'll look better glued back there. Okay, so now we're just gonna glue that around this piece of our thing here, and then it just looks all finished. Since we fold that piece under, you don't see any raw edges, and it looks all nice and finished. All right, so now we can go back here. I want this off to the side a little bit more, and I think that is gonna be just perfect like that. I didn't want it to hang way down here. So there we go. So that is the scarf part. And I do think I'm gonna add a little glue on here because I don't want it to come untied on me. So everything's just getting glued down, easy peasy. I want this over to the side though. All right, and now our hat, same thing. We are just gonna glue that baby on, figure out where we want it. I kind of want it offset. I don't want it right on the top of his head. I thought it would look cuter off to the side here a little bit because we're gonna add a few more little decorations in here by his neck. And yeah, I want this to come forward. So I think right about there, and I don't know, I may have to put a little stuff in this guy. I really didn't want to. I really didn't. What if we pull him down like that? Oh, I think that's perfect, right like that. Oh, yep, that's exactly what we are gonna do. Okay, so let me get him glued down. Well, I got him where I want him. Glue that side. I'm gonna glue it on the back too, just to make sure it doesn't move on me. So let's flip him over real quick. Put a little glue under here. And a little glue over here. And that ought to do it. And then, I don't know, I may tack this down here just so it stays right where I want it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm gonna tack that right down like so. Oh, the webs we weave and the white things here. All right, so there we go. So that is it so far. You could just leave it like that if you wanted to. I kind of want this over more. Stay. I may have to glue you over here too if you're not going to behave. I think that's cute though with the little jingle bells there. There we go. That's over where I want it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to glue it down so I don't have to keep moving this. Just a little bit up here. And then just a little bit right under here. And now you'll stay where I want you. Yay. Perfect. All right. So now I am going to take a few more little things here. I'm going to take some of these pine ties from Dollar Tree. I just want a couple of these in here. Actually, I think I'm just going to use one of these. We'll see. I may change my mind. I'm going to take one of these pine ties and just cut it in half here. Oh, these are my new wire cutters. I hate these things. They are absolutely worthless. Where are my old ones? I don't know what I did with them. I used them for something else. I may have taken them outside. Well, it's a good thing I'm only cutting one of these because these things stink. These are the exact same ones I bought in the floral section at Walmart last year, and they are amazing wire cutters. These, they don't want to cut at all. I don't know where my old ones are, but anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to give these a twist. Make sure I got them even. Cut it in half, give it a twist. And then I'm just going to fold them up like that, just so they're kind of like this way. And then you can, we'll move them around how we want them. So now I'm hoping I stick that right there in his, how do we turn this here? Right where I put that knot there. I'm just going to tuck that right underneath the scarf. And then we can add some little berries and things to it, and maybe a pine cone. There. And then we can adjust these around how we want them once that hot glue cools down. All right, so that's there. Let's see, what do we want? Do we want one of these big berries? I have these big berries here. I have my bag of pine cones here. I think I'm going to get one of these out because these are really snowy looking. These I got at Dollar Tree last year. I like this nice big one here. And this is actually a wire garland. I don't know if they had these out this year. I haven't seen them. But if you just twist them, you can take all your pine cones right off of there. And these are a nice size if you can find these on the wires. So I bought a bunch of those last year to keep here in my stash. Oh yeah, I think that'll look perfect right there. So we're going to put a little pine cone right there. You guys see that right there? Yeah. I can barely see in this little screen here when I'm filming this. It's very hard for me to see. I might put a little bit of white paint on there too. Where is, we'll just take a little bit of acrylic. Where's my acrylic? Is any of these open by any chance? Yay. All right, here's just some white acrylic paint, apple barrel paint from Walmart. And I'm just going to take a little teeny brush here. Just a little bit of paint on it. And just kind of just gently go over the edges of this pine. It takes away some of that shine too. But just to give that a little snowy effect, since we got our snowman here and everything looking snowy. Did you stick in there good? I may have to add a little more glue. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a snow look. Can't see if I'm on that right side there. There we go. All right, that's enough. Just a teeny weeny bit. Now let's see if I can not get glue all over me while I put these on. I'm just rethinking my berries here. Those might be a little bit too big. So maybe I'll just come here, take one of these branches from Dollar Tree. They're just simply called berries. And maybe I'll just pop a few of these off of here if I can get some that will come off without showing too much of the styrofoam. Let's see. see what we can do with some of these. Not that one. That one's completely ruined. Oh, I hate that these, when they come off, that you can see all the styrofoam underneath. I've tried coloring them in too. People tell me to color them in, and it just doesn't look the same. Or I just don't have the right color paint. So let's see. Can I get that in there and hide that? No. Yeah, you know, I like these berries, but you really, really cannot break these apart. I know I have smaller ones here. Oh, here they are. Here's some smaller berries. Sorry, I got everything in these crinkly bags here. Ugh, that was awful, I know. Anyway, just going to take these smaller berries. They have all different sizes at Dollar Tree. Yep, those are just going to be too big for this project, I think. So we're just going to glue a few of these little red berries on here to give it a little pop. This one up a little higher. Yeah, I like these because they're individually, so you just pop these off, and they're styrofoam too, but it doesn't pull off the color that easy. Put this one down here by the pine cone. Woo, back up there. And then we'll add one more to that branch, and then we are done. Oh, I just want to show you exactly how I'm going to hang this too. Forgot to mention that part. That's an important part. All right, let's put that berry out here. I'm hoping it's not going to be too difficult with my hands, because I have like no oomph or no strength anymore in my hands here. But we are going to use some of this baker's twine that they usually have in the Crafter's Square section, and just one of these big darning needles with the big eyes in it, and I'm just going to double that, and that's what I'm going to use to hang it, because this is not very heavy at all. So I think that should be fine to hold this little baby up if you want to hook it on a, you know, wreath holder or whatever. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to add a little more glue to stabilize this guy here. Maybe up here higher. All right, glue, cool off here. Let's go. Final touch. And I mean, you can add more to this if you want to. You could put some like greens down in here with maybe some, you know, little decoration or whatever. But I just wanted to make this a simple snowman. I wish I could show this better laying down here, but I can't. So I will hang this up here in a second. Let me just show you real quick here what I'm going to do to... There it is. Well, I lost it already. I'm going to try to go through the hat, and first I want to figure out exactly where I want this. I'm thinking right about... You just kind of got to hold it up right here, and I think I can get through, because I can feel, yeah, I did. Oh, it's my lucky day. I got through the wreath part. Now let's see if I can pull this through. Yay! You know, things haven't been working out lately, but today seems to be a good crafting day. You know, you have those days where nothing works out, and then you have other days where it's like easy peasy. So thank you for being easy peasy. So then you're going to just leave yourself a nice loop back there to hang this guy. I always like to do 3 knots on everything. But there you go. And that's how we're going to hang them. There we go. All right. Well, that was easy, right, guys? Simple, easy peasy. Like I said, you want to add more to it? Go right ahead. The more, the merrier. But I just wanted this simple little snowman silhouette kind of here with this scarf. If anybody opens the door, it's going to make a little jingle bell. So I'll hang this up here. I will take a nice picture of this. You can see it instead of all bunched up here on my table with all my junk. Well, it's not junk, but you guys know what I mean. Clutter. Is that better? But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy project, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.